Hello, happy and good afternoon, happy Sunday evening. I hope you've had a beautiful day. I wanted to share with you something I started doing 28 years ago. 1995 was the year that my husband and I went to the black hole of financial debt. It's like, you gotta you hear the saying, what is it? It's not bad enough yet. Maybe it needs to get worse. Well, apparently that was the case for us. Little did I know in my life contract had I signed on to the agreement that I would learn about how money operates as a form of energy. I had no idea. I was clueless about that in 1995. All I knew was that you worked, you got paid, whether you were entrepreneurial or you worked for somebody else, and that money was the means to take care of bills and purchase things. And in 1995, we found ourselves in about equivalent to what today would be $120,000 of credit card debt and no income, zero, zippo. Neither of us had jobs. We had four small children, and it was gnarly. It affected our marriage. It affected every waking moment of our lives. That's all. It's kind of like that experience was between you and your life. And we had no good resolution for it. We were stuck, majorly stuck. And at the time, I started listening to about that time. I had already begun my career in energy healing. I had actually trained and studied Reiki. Started that in 1991. I went the alternative path just because I had personally exhausted a lot of the traditional psychological protocols that I was willing to use and get the benefit from in my late 20s, when I was dealing with suicidal depression and some really other deep emotional problems that led me to alternative healing, because I wanted to get well. And I'm a very prayerful person, and when you have four small children and you are causing them great dysfunction and you're basically wounding them. And before I understood the vast nature of my ability to do that as a parent, I knew that my inability to show up emotionally well and balanced on a daily basis was affecting the next generation. So I was not a woo-woo person. I was not I was never into any of that stuff. I genuinely wanted to get well, primarily to be a better mother, because I knew my children deserved more. I didn't love myself well enough. I didn't love my husband and I were at odds with each other. We had a very, very difficult marriage up until the last, I'd say, probably the last 7-8 year mark. It's really gotten easier and easier and easier every year. Well, we hit our financial wall in 1995 with these events playing out. And unbeknownst to me, I had agreed to learn and understand the energetics of money and how we are the creator of our money experience. So, as I was now pursuing understanding energy healing and sort of the quantum nature of our reality and our existence as humans, there is not a lot of information out there. I read a book called The Holographic Universe, which was very life-changing for me, and I started listening to Abraham Hicks cassette audio tapes. We were in the audio cassette tape of the month club. We'd get a tape every month and we'd pop it in our cassette player in our car and listen to this. And I started to realize that all that I was learning could be applied to money. And I was standing in my bathroom and really, really angry and frustrated that I had to go through this. And the Spirit told me clear as day, number one, your number one lesson in this is to learn happiness first, to not hang your happiness on your external reality, and to practice happiness. So I began to practice happiness every day, and that has been a life changer. Now, that's not even the one thing I'm going to tell you that I started doing, but yeah, that definitely was it was like, Carol, nothing's changing till you learn to be happy. Happy is an internal condition. Do not hang it on anything. Not your appearance, not your finances, nothing. How can you choose to be happy amidst a very stressful and very overwhelming situation. Given I wasn't meant to treat it as, oh, no big deal. It was a serious situation. You know, you have a family of six, four children at the time. You have expenses. And so we started out, and thankfully my husband was open-minded. He likes to learn and grow. And so he was willing to enroll in this new study with me. And I started to learn about how money is a function of energy. Well, the one thing that changed my life was I owned the awareness 100% at that time that I was creating my experience with money. Did I always like it? No. Was it always like, woohoo, look at me? No. Did it take care of it and I was just free to now create what I wanted? No. But I owned it. I owned that awareness and said, any experience I'm having with money, I'm creating it. Even if I'm not the one that has the job with an income connected to it, I'm creating my experience. And everybody's playing a role for me. So my experience with money is, I teach this in Remembering Wholeness. One thing I had to unwind was money is love. My father was incapable of showing emotional love and affection, especially to a daughter, his only daughter. But he did acquire quite a bit of money through his lifetime, and he was not always generous, and there was always this sort of attachment of him extending that, what his money could acquire, but there was sort of this, him feeling resentful for it, that we didn't appreciate him. So you'd always get that side of it. Well, you don't really appreciate me and all that I do for you with money. And you're like, I just kind of want you to love me and hug me. And I've watched the show Succession, which, if you can stand the F word, it is a blown up, sort of on steroids version of my father, for sure. Incapable, you know, just not quite as, he wasn't swearing at us and stuff, but definitely just a rough, hardcore kind of insensitive man. Very, and I was the only daughter with three brothers, so it's been very interesting to watch that show and go, man, I feel like I'm watching my life here. But it's times billions, because this is billionaires' family. So that changed my life, and I knew, I trusted. The thing I trusted, and this is again that confirmation that I'm very blessed with, and I guess another thing that I'm good at is I believe. I know when I received a spiritual confirmation, I trust it. It certainly, I will question it at times when the going gets tough, or it gets, you know, it's not always smooth sailing, and you're not through it yet, and you're still being challenged by it. It took a lot of years to get there. I knew if I believed and practiced through the years what I now teach in the 30-day money cure in its fullness, I've been able to package this in a 30-day experience, and the exercises are all the things I've acquired over these, well, I wrote it, it would have been about a 20-year journey, because I wrote it about 21 years ago, the original course, and I put everything in there that it took me 2 decades to learn and practice, and the best stuff that worked. But I knew if I trusted that, my life in 20 years, 30 years would look completely different if I was willing to continue this process, compared to if I just kept doing what I was doing and kept living my Groundhog Day with money. I trusted that. Did I know what it was going to look like? No. Did I know it would be beyond my imagination? Yes. Did I do it because I wanted? It wasn't even motivated by acquiring a lot of money, that money was the goal, or money was, you know, somehow the score card. Look how much money when do you hear me talk about, you know, look what I've been able to buy, look what I have. To me, wealth and affluence is about what's perfect for your state of comfort and experience. I wanted to be one, financially stress-free. I wanted to have financial freedom, and that I never had to worry about money again. That was an outcome I desired. I wanted to freely be able to invest in the experiences, resources, and what was timely that were correct for me. I wanted to have money as a tool to be able to invest in what is correct for me, to use it as that energetic exchange. And I've been able to achieve all that in this unfolding of these 28 years. I know many of you realize, because I broadcast from there frequently, that we own a second home on the North Shore of Oahu. Well, I've never shared this, but I feel inclined to do that today. In 2020, we felt moved to invest in some property in southern Utah. That was a miracle. Acquiring the Hawaii property, miracle. I've told that story before. I don't think I'll take time to tell it today, but it was a miracle. It was, the metaphor I use, it was like watching God move the game pieces on the game board of my life. It was phenomenal. And we've had the good fortune now to invest in a property in southern Utah. And the way that unfolded was a miracle. Really what prompted it was a very type 3 approach to life. When everything started to get locked down in March 2020, we had planned to go back to Hawaii with an extended trip where each one of our children and their children had, on our calendar, we had everybody coming and going at different dates over about a 6-week period. Well, all that was, of course, not accessible. And I thought, I'm not gonna, you can't stop me from moving around the planet. I'm type 3. I'm gonna have choices. So I called my type 3 granddaughter, Ann's oldest daughter, and I said to Katie, why don't we rent a house down in southern Utah since we can't go to our place in Hawaii with a pool? And we'll go there. We can get in our cars and drive. Grandma, I'm going to pack my bags right now. Well, we came down here. We spent the week. We had our family coming and go in different groups. And it was big enough that they overlapped. We did find a home with a pool. And we really, I've spent a lot of time down here. I'm very familiar with it. I used to teach classes at Red Mountain Spa right at the base of Snow Canyon. They had me come. One of their events coordinator was a big fan of Dressing Your Truth. She had me coming in now there for years. But we decided to look for property, and long story short, the lot we were able to acquire was the only lot left in a small subdivision in Ivins where the builder did not even have it on the market. He had planned to build a home on it for himself. He met us at a new development he was working on where we just decided to go drive through it and stopped, and my husband said, maybe that's the builder. He was in the ditch cleaning something out. He goes, maybe that's the builder. Get out. Sure enough, it was. It was an interesting experience because we got out, we chatted with him, told him that we were interested in investing in something in this area. And the spirit told me clear as day, Carol, he's a type 2, a 2-4. Give him time to express himself. Take a step back and create the space for him to share. And I just did that, and I was quiet, and something shifted in that moment. And in a few minutes, he shared, well, I have one lot left in a development that I'm thinking of selling. Would you like to see it? And we had already seen the lot, but because it wasn't listed, we didn't think it was available. And sure enough, there it was. And so we have this really awesome place. And I have a trifectory lifestyle. I go between 3 houses. My kids say, are you home? I said, well, I'm always home. I just have 3 homes that I rotate between. And we do use all 3 of them really consistently, and so does our family. And so, that was just, again, in the market. Okay, we were able, I know there's these phases in, particularly in Utah, where the real estate, we were able to purchase before the next big real estate boom that happened in this area, so that if we were to sell it, it's got a huge return for us. So it's an interesting experience to be where we are now. I live in gratitude on a consistent basis. I'm not someone I really am not a showy kind of like, hey, look at all the stuff I have. I want you to have what's correct for you. I want you to be able to have the resource of money as a tool. I want you to have it flow freely and accumulate for you. I want you to be free of any stressful experiences with money and to be done with that. I know there's many students that have graduated from the 30-day money cure that can say that is the case now. This is a year that would be important to you to go through, and if you've previously gone through and the economy is doing it when we are experiencing economic, I even, to the degree of it being referred to as economic collapse, now that, the recession, prices higher than ever. There's no better time when the energy is that constricted. There's no better time to stand in that energy and to open the space for something different, because you will get the opportunity to receive in an expanded way the benefit of having changed the reality you're in relationship to the collective. It's like, this is like bonus time to be doing this. It's like, yeah, this is extra. You'll get extra benefits as we're in this energetic money struggle as a collective energy, for you to open it differently and create something differently for yourself. All right, let me see if we've got a question here from one person, then I will sign off. Okay. Seeking help for my son and his family. They moved to Montana and the house they were renting was full of mold. They are in desperate need, helping finding another place to live, but they're almost depleted all of their money. They have 2 sweet girls. Well, they're adults. Invite them to start this practice. Again, I was in a dire place. I was in a desperate way. I was in this, I don't have the resources, and the best thing I did was to start to look at my life as a creation and to change it. And they're old enough to do that, so send them the link. Let's see. Hello from Minnesota. I'll use this one. Judy Mack. I want to start helping bring in money. I'm close to 60, but have been helping with my husband's business since I was 40. I want to work in the arts, but think of starving artists. I hope this will help me be courageous and successful so my husband can slow down a bit. I just started the money course today. That's really great. The thing is, you don't have to know. Like I said earlier, I didn't know how it was going to play out. I didn't know what was going to show up. I just knew it would, because I was shifting my energy of, I knew as I put out a different vibration, what you can even consider right now with the energy you're in and the vibration you're in right now can't even create what's possible. That all starts to be altered. Things are manifest in your life. The story starts to change, and you don't have to know. You get to be the recipient of a lot of awesome opportunities you can't even craft right now. You can't even, you just, Einstein has that famous quote, we can't solve the problems we've created, and I'm ad-libbing it, with the same consciousness. We can't create a solution with the same consciousness in which the problem was created. And that's the case here. And so I hope you'll join in. And then Carrie Smith, I'll answer yours. Carol, I really need your help. I just had a bone marrow transplant, which depleted my money. I'm stuck. I'm feeling like I'll never make it out of this. How can I transform my relationship about money? Well, it's interesting. Hopefully that's going to make a difference for your health, the bone marrow. Marrow is that, the substance in the bones, and it's this, you could almost think of money as the skeleton of our lives. It holds everything in place. Without money, in today's experience, unless you want to go live off the grid, I know you can watch reality shows where people are doing that, but not me, not my thing. you need money. It's an infrastructure that you can't live without. And so your bone marrow supports your bones and is an infrastructure. So I want to invite you to sign up for it. It's only $69. We start tomorrow. Go to the link. I think, the pricing, we used to sell it for $300. I've put it in the Healing Center purposely to bring the price point down so it's accessible any time of the year. But this year, we always at this time of year, we go through as a Facebook group. You join the private Facebook group, and we are all going through each of the daily activities and weekly sessions together, and everything's outlined. It's all very user friendly. It's a follow at your own pace. It's all outlined by week 1, 2, 3, 4. There's daily activities. There's daily messages that you need to read. You can do it right on your phone. I'm looking to log in and I'll show you. The setup, because I do it right on my phone. I don't even do it on my laptop. We have a really good, our phone, our mobile sites are like apps. And you can even, we'll teach you how to set it up so it's saved on your screen. But you can see that it's all right here, ready to go. You can sign up for the, we send out text prompts. You'll get a pop-up window to do that, but the money cure's all right here on your phone, ready to go. Super easy. Week 1 daily messages, all your daily activities are in the first column. Then you can see across the top you have your weeks, week 1, week 2. The group's going through it together this week. This month's coaching call will be focused on the money cure. So, first believe that you have to own your creation. It can be something that can be a point of grief. It's not like, oh boy, look what I'm creating. When I realized that in my heart of hearts, it was really sombering. It was really just like, well, look at me. My life sucks, and it did. I had a lot of stuff, and it took me a lot of years to clean it up. And yet at the same time, and I teach this in Remembering Wholeness, I thought, well, if I can create my life of struggle this well, this intricately, wow, I've got real potential. And so that's the first step, is I can help you if you'll own the role you play. And you just got to show up and do. You just got to show up and do whatever we've outlined for you to do that day. It's that simple. Put a reminder in your phone. Your life will look different because you chose to do this. You keep experiencing what you're experiencing. In 10 years, it may not look much different. If you choose to join in, your life's going to look different in a matter of months, even a year. It will be profound. So I hope I'll see you in the Facebook group. We're going to start. I'll be live on Tuesday with a welcome call, and I look forward to supporting you in that space.